What is this, Kentucky?
Welcome.
All right. Well,
2024 class. You're the headline of it. You're the five-star.
That's fair. All right, we're here. Jeff Iafrate, Booner from Woodward Nights, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. You know where he's from and what he's doing. He's got the mullet. Look at him. He's looking good. BMG in the audio booth, as always. He's got some bangers we're going to give out for Booner's bets later, some parlays. Mike, you're about due. You missed a lot by one leg. I think you're about due to hit for a bag tonight.
I think we all are, too.
I love this is the type of energy we need. We also,
the boys are due.
Yeah, the boys are due. We also have Pete in the TD booth. Shout out to you, Pete. Appreciate it.
Look at the family shot.
Oh my God.
The Brady Bunch shot.
What is this shot?
It's the Brady Bunch shot.
We're missing a family member.
Yeah, there's one missing there. Maz in spirit.
I love, we got the spirit of Tom Mazaway here. Hopefully he can give us some good luck. But yeah, we're going to break down the game. Week 17, Lions, Cowboys. It's a big game, huge test for both teams. This isn't even a big test for just the Lions. The Cowboys, for everything they've done this season, look at the teams they beat. You can say the same thing to some extent about the Lions. Both these teams need to prove they're 11-4 and 10-5 for a reason. Booner, and you got a big one in Jerry World with a lot of pressure on both teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a huge. If you kind of look at it, if the Cowboys lose and the Lions win this game, Lions kind of jump into that. Hey, they might be one of the favorites for the Super Bowl in the NFC. And then the opposite for the Cowboys. They've lost 2 straight games, so they're in a pretty desperate situation as well. Just like the Lions, I'm going to say the Lions are in a desperate spot, but they've had all of these games to where now they finally have a game to prove that they belong. And the Cowboys want to kind of prove that. You know, they're not the same old Cowboys. It's really weird because there's like the Cowboys who are America's team, and the Lions have been kind of taking over that persona the last probably 6-7 months heading into the season. So now you basically have the old America's team and the new America's team going at it tonight. Same old Cowboys and the brand new Lions. That's where I'm going to go with it today.
I love it. And for both, too, the Lions just clinched their division, clinched the NFC North, first time in 30 years. When you talk about that, everyone's celebrating. It's a big week. It's really not even just a big week. It's a big year. I mean, you win your division, people are going to be celebrating this. It's a big deal. Now, what does the hangover look like? You know, and Dan Campbell has proven that as a head coach, he gets these guys ready to play. They have yet to lose back-to-back games this season. They respond well. They've been playing well, and I do think that continues. I don't think this is a team that's going to get hung up on winning the division. I think Dan Campbell, they all made that clear, the coaches, that, hey, this year we're going to win a division, but they have more to prove and they have more to do, Booner. It's not just the division. We're talking playoffs.
Broder on Woodward Nights, I asked him this question a couple times because he was in Allen Park a few times throughout the week and just kind of getting vibes. You can kind of tell around the building what guys are like, if they're still talking about that NFC North, where their heads are at with that. Right. And he said when he went on, I think it was Tuesday was the first day that he went in, there was no talk, there was no questions from the media. No one really even talked about the NFC North Championship when it comes from the media, the players, the coaches. That was just kind of a thing of the past within that first day that everyone was back. So I think that Dan right away, he walked in the building and let it known, he just let it be known, we're not worrying about that. We're done with this. We celebrated for 48 hours. We're done with it because that's all it has to. Now it's playoffs. Now it's the 2 seed. Now it's the 1 seed. It's going to the Super Bowl. Everything's ahead of us. That's in the past. We can celebrate that in the off season when that time comes. But I think Dan let it very well known in the building this week. We're not doing that. We're on to Dallas.
Yeah, and the Lions have done a good job just ruining the party. They did it last year on the road to Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, his last game as a Packer, they ruined it. You talk about this season, okay, Kansas City Chiefs, it's the parade. They won the Super Bowl. Lions spoil it. Now you have another opportunity. Jimmy Johnson night, Ring of Honor. On top of that, you have Michael Irvin in attendance to see CeeDee Lamb break his reception record. There's a lot of things happening in Dallas for this game. Outside of football, at least outside the game itself, I think this is another opportunity, BMG, for the Lions to go in there and just spoil it all and beat the fraudulent Cowboys.
No, it's definitely a big night for the Cowboys, and what better way for Lions to give some of their fans some reassurance and get a big dub against the Cowboys. I think this game's going to be a lot of offense, and obviously the Cowboys defense is not very good against the run, so I look for Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery to have a big game. But on the Lions side, your pass rush needs to show up this game. Tony Pollard hasn't been doing that great at all this season. So they're going to be looking for CeeDee Lamb and those wide receivers a lot. So Aiden Hutchinson, no better time to have a big game than today.
What about you, Pete? The significance of this game, how big is it for both teams?
Well, it's huge, obviously. I mean, the Lions looking to lock up. Well, actually put a stranglehold on the number 2 seed. And now we can, if they win this game, now we can actually talk about possibly the number 1 seed. I mean, if everything works out. So it's a huge game. Way to shut down the Ring of Honor tonight for Dallas. This would be you can say that all the games so far this year have been statement games. This tonight will definitely be a statement game.
I like what you said, Booner, about the same old Cowboys versus the brand new Lions.
Yeah, that's
got to be
the
theme
right?
here.
The last 2 years, it's been or not even the last 2 years. It's been forever now. At least since I've been alive, I hear nothing about how the Cowboys are America's team. I have never in my lifetime seen the Cowboys win. They have won as many Super Bowls, I think, in my lifetime as the Detroit Lions. And they're supposed to be America's team. I think it's the same old Cowboys. Every year, they have all this whole 10, 11-win seasons. And then at the end of the season in the playoffs, they crumble. And this is where I hope tonight is the start of that crumble. The brand new Lions. I think everyone knows the storylines behind the Cowboys and Lions, especially that playoff game. Everyone knows that feeling. Last year, we know what happened. I think today is, hey, Detroit, it's time to turn that page with Dallas. You're the one that's going to take over now. I think it's a night where you can kind of set that off. The best part about it, Jeff, it's prime time, 8 p.m. Everyone in the world will be watching, and they could watch you take down the Dallas Cowboys and change that narrative into the new America's team.
To give people some of the injury updates, some significant guys that won't be playing yet. C.J. Gardner Johnson, he's been dealing with that torn pec. He's getting back. He's not playing this game. He'll be back next week. It's okay. He's a big part of the secondary, but you want him 100% healthy for the playoffs. Unfortunately, he's not going to play this game. Light practices all week. He's officially ruled out. James Houston had a light practice Thursday, but again, they're taking the time with him as well. James Houston ruled out. Brock Wright ruled out as well with a hip injury. The one that's kind of concerning to me is Cam Sutton.
Yeah.
Because he is a big part of the secondary. And you talk about the weakness on the Lions defense, it's definitely corner.
Yep.
Yeah, you bring up the pass rush, but corner's an actual problem. And Cam Sutton has been the bright light in a dark room for the secondary. He didn't practice pretty much all week, and he's dealing with a toe injury. So even if he plays, he's questionable. He's not going to be 100%. You need him today. CeeDee Lamb is a big-time player. He's a big part of what they do in the passing game. He has 50, 60 more targets than the second receiver on the Cowboys, which I believe is Jake Ferguson. Excuse me. Him or Brandon Cooks, regardless, he has 50, 60 more targets. So what they do in the passing game, Booner, it depends on CeeDee Lamb. No Cam Sutton. That's going to sting.
Yeah,
Jerry Jacobs back, though.
Yeah, I mean, how's that going to, even if Cam Sutton's out, is Jerry going to go guard CeeDee Lamb?
Come on, Jerry Jacobs.
Come on. I mean, what are we doing here? CeeDee Lamb, he has basically one of the best wide receivers in football right now. He has the second most receiving yards on all of the NFL. So that is a problem if Cam Sutton's out. I think he plays, and I think he's one of those guys. We talked about it throughout the week. He's a dude that came over from Mike Tomlin, the Steelers. He's going to tough it out, and he's going to make sure he plays. After this, when's the next game you have? You have an extra day off this next week. I see Cam Sutton playing tonight. I'm interested to see, though. Injury report, I think, comes out about 6:30, 6:45. Mm-hmm. I want to see where he's at, because the questionable is, and you know what really kind of hurts me a little is it came up out of nowhere.
Right.
It wasn't something that was all week. It was just Thursday. He practiced all week, and then Thursday he just wasn't at practice, and it was shown as a toe injury, which scares me a little bit as well. So I'm interested to see what happens there with that, Jeff. I think they're going to be fine. I think he's going to play, and I think they'll be fine. Doesn't mean that I think that this secondary, these corners are going to go out there and get the job done, because CeeDee, Dak at home, he plays like an MVP caliber. So that's what scares me a little bit as well.
I think we're all in lockstep here. If the Lions win this game, they got to score points, a ton of points. I don't think this game, I very well could be wrong, but I don't think it's going to be a 23-17 type of win. You're going to have to score 24 plus, hell, not even 30 plus.
30 plus.
I think that's how it's going to end up going. And we'll get to our final scores later in the show. We'll get to the breakdown, because we got our thoughts on how the Lions can win this football game. But I want to read this comment. Jordan Schaefer: the Lions are 6-0 with a healthy O-line, 11-0 when wearing solid uniforms, and 4-0 in primetime this season. That ain't changing tonight. It's a lot of something in O's.
They do have the all-whites
on. A lot of undefeated records with these three different things, and the Lions are all they have a healthy O-line. They're going to be wearing solid uniforms, and they're 4-0 in primetime. This is technically a Monday night game, but it's on Saturday, so it is primetime.
Do you see the Monday Night Football stat? It's like the last 7 underdogs in Monday Night Football have won, or something like that.
Yeah, I think the Lions, they came in as plus 220, I believe, on the money line.
I put a unit or two on the Lions money line tonight.
I don't hate it.
Just a sprinkle, I guess a unit isn't a sprinkle, huh, boys?
No, not for you. Steve Wild says, when Jeff says one way, better the other. I mean, I wouldn't say that, Steve, but hey, rock with it.
Jeff says
rock with it, Steve.
He's
That's
not
fair.
a part of the Booner path. We all go on the path.
No, the Booner path. I'm still confused on what the hell the Booner path even is, to be honest with you, because I don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl, so I can't say that.
Don't have to think they're going to make the Super Bowl for the Booner path.
Well, I don't know. The Booner path is like 5 different. It's the
a
definition
vision for the people. I'm a leader of the people.
Variations of the Booner path.
That's what I'm saying,
I am
Mike.
the people's
different
champ.
variations.
I am the people's champ. This is the path for the people to get the Detroit Lions taking that next step.
There
if
you
you
go.
want to join, which you are our 5-star recruit coming into next year. So
I appreciate that. Lorenzo says toe is hard to change directions and stop and go. If his toe is injured, hopefully it's just a nail and not a joint issue. Yeah, regardless. If you're not 100% and you're guarding CD Lamb, that's a recipe for disaster.
I do think too, real quick too, with that before I don't know what we have next, but I think with AG, I think all week when that kind of came up, I'm sure he has some sort of schemes already for CD Lamb set up to have guys like Brian Branch, Kirby over kind of. That's my guess, to have help over on CD, because that's not a guy you're going to just throw Cam Sutton out there and say, hey, good luck. So I'm sure that they have a plan set in place for CD today.
All right, let's go to break here. When we come back, we'll get into the offensive matchups. But quickly, though, let me tell you, you're tuning into the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by our friends over at Long Drink and Bullseye Event Group. Guys, stick with us. Packed show for you guys playing right after the break. See you in a little bit.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Now it's to the next one, and so at this point now we're fighting for the 2 seed. And look, if you're able to get to the 1, so be it. But right now, what we know we can achieve on our own is the 2, and that's no easy task. We got to go to Dallas. They haven't lost in I don't know how many games at home, and they play really well there. It'll be loud, but we're looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to going out there and playing a really good opponent at their place again. We've done pretty well on the road. We handle it well. And then to go out there and play for Jimmy, too. This would be great, man. Jimmy Johnson. So, make him proud.
You've been through.
I'm a huge Jimmy Johnson fan. Obviously, grew up in Texas when, he had the triplets winning Super Bowls. To do everything that he was able to do. And just, he's somebody that I've studied from afar. And I've always been fascinated with him. So his style, the way he coached, what he was about, the way he built that roster, the way they played, and I think he's special. I think he's one of these rare special coaches, and so I just think to me, it's like an honor that we get to go out there and, because that's what I think of. Obviously our team, man, a chance to get a win, but, do something that he'd be proud of. He could watch us play and be like, I like that style, I approve of that. So I think it's pretty cool.
Dan Campbell speaking on Jimmy Johnson night, the Cowboys, the Cowgirls, as some would say. We're back. It's a Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Jeff Iafrate, Booner, Michael Gentry, and Pete. Got the entire crew here with you. We might have Maz away call in, Mr. Tom Maz. Maybe he can give us some of his
Shout out
opinions.
Maz, man.
We'll try and get him on. But for now, let's get into some of the matchups here. I want to start with the Lions offense facing this Dallas Cowboys defense. You know, and at times you look at some of the personnel on the Cowboys. It's intriguing. Yeah. I mean, it's hilarious that Micah Parsons came out before the season and said this is a legendary defense. It hasn't looked that way on the ground, Booner. I think they're 19th in the league in rushing yards allowed per game. They've shown they're prone to giving up some big games. You had the Bills run all over them, a team that refuses
yards.
A team that refuses to run the football.
Yep.
James Cook in a career game. You know what that tells me? And not every week is the same, but when you see something happen consistently, there's some truth to it. Arizona was able to do it against the Dallas Cowboys, and I think the Lions can do it. They have yet to face, I say this every week, but they have yet to face an offensive line like this and a backfield like this. And it's funny because we check FanDuel every week, and they seem to just keep sleeping on these Lions running backs. Like the Lions at like 50 for both running backs. They've hit that in damn near every single game as of late. But I think this is a great matchup, Booner, that favors the Lions. This offensive line, you know what they want to do. They want to run the football. They want to establish play action. And I think that's going to pose problems immediately for the Cowboys. I don't think they'll have an answer for those two.
Yeah, I think that the thing, too, with the Bills game, I think that Bills game was the best thing to happen for the Lions. You got to see, like, Ben Johnson got to break down that film and see exactly what they did with James Cook and kind of going through that, like, hey, how did they have so much success versus Dallas defense? At the end of the day, too, I'm just looking at some stats here.
Booner, sorry to interrupt you. We got Maz coming on right now.
Oh, breaking news. This is breaking. Tom Mazaway joining the show.
Maz,
welcome to the show. What are you up to?
Boys, how are you? I'm in Jersey. I'm getting ready.
There you go.
Getting ready.
There you go,
Let's
Maz.
go,
Maz,
Maz.
how you feeling? Give me some of your thoughts on the game and who you got coming out on top.
Honestly, man, I really feel great. I'm talking like as a fan right now. I feel great. I think the Lions got a hell of a chance today. I do. Last year, I won't forget that game. They had a chance to take the lead in the fourth quarter, and Jamal Williams fumbles on the goal line, and Dallas goes down and puts the game away. And I just believe that this Lions team is ready to start rolling. I said last week when they beat Denver, that win is great, but you've got to couple it with this win now. You've got to start rolling like they did last year when they won 8 out of 10. You've got to start winning now. You can't go into these one-game losing streaks because one-game losing streak in the playoffs and your season's over. Mm-hmm. I think they got to win tonight, beat Minnesota, and roll into the playoffs as the number 2 seed. And I think they could do it tonight. They got to run the ball, guys. They got to run the ball.
Yeah, that's great you brought that up, Maz. I don't see a way, unless the Lions get down 2 scores early, that the Cowboys have an answer for this run game. I think Jameer and David this is another big game incoming. And to be honest with you, Maz, I mean, if you did this, you called it last time we did the pregame show. You called it Sam Laporta had a big one against the Broncos, 3 touchdowns. Anyone you're feeling today, Maz? We got to get your thoughts on it. You've been hot lately.
Oh, my favorite Lion is Jameer Gibbs. He is. I love this kid. When I see him, my mouth drops. I love watching him, and I'm so happy that we got him. I know all the draft nicks out there. We should have took this guy. We should have took this guy. I am so happy that we got Jameer Gibbs, even over Bijan Robinson. I love this guy, and David Montgomery has been fantastic this year. You know, the only time he hasn't been is when he's gotten hurt. 2 of them, they're the dynamic duo. Run their ball down their throat and throw it to your tight ends, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they could win. They could win this game. Run away from Micah Parsons, for crying out loud. That's what you got to do.
Run the opposite
I'm
way.
with you.
Hey, Maz, it's Booner, Maz Jr. here, as everyone calls me.
Oh, jeez.
That's right, Boo.
Hey, Maz. Hey, love you, man. Hope you're having a great time in Jersey.
Love you.
And I want you to bring me back a couple cutlets, too, if you can. But real quick, I want to ask you this. The offense, that side of the ball. Defensively, Maz, is there any way Cam Sutton potentially out tonight? Do you think there's any way that they can kind of hold this Dallas offense to under 30 points and win this game kind of like by a touchdown or 2?
They got to win the shootout, Maz.
Well, I know. It's tough. They played Denver tough, but Denver's offense is not the Cowboys' offense. Cowboys coming off a tough loss. That was a really tough loss against Miami. They want this game. They need this game. They're a very good team, man. They're on par with us. Might even be a little bit better, maybe, only because of their defense is a little bit better than our defense. But our offense is as good as their offense. I don't care if we win 42-40. I don't care. Just play. Stay with them. Stay with them. Go up and down that field as much as you can. Don't turn the ball over.
No, Maz, you're 100%. You got a final score before we let you go? I know you're over in Jersey with the fan, but give me a final score. What do you got?
That's what I said. 42-40.
Oh,
42-40.
Wow. 42-40.
That's the over. I'm betting heavy.
Maz, you're rocking with the over. Maz, for as a football fan, I approve of that. I'll take a shootout. It'll be entertaining.
A little does Maz
Jimmy
know
Johnson,
one of my numbers is in the 40 as well.
Jimmy Johnson night, Maz. Lions spoil it.
I know.
There you go.
It's great, man. He's going to go up in the Ring of Honor, and we're going to stick it right up as you know what.
Thanks, Maz. We love you, man. Appreciate it. Have fun over there in Jersey, and we'll see you back, all right?
All right, guys. Love you.
All right,
Go Lions.
Go Lions, Maz. There you go.
Lions, baby.
Maz, the mayor of New Jersey, giving us an update, his thoughts on the Lions-Cowboys game. And I agree with mayor of New Jersey. It is what it is. I love some of those photos too, Pete. Dispo Maz. There's like so many different Mazes.
Yeah, I had to come up with a couple Mazes.
Yeah, guy's a character, ain't he? To kind of what he said, though, he is right. I think we all agree, mutually. Running the football is important. Yep. Not turning the football over is everything. I know it sounds repetitive, but it's so true. This Cowboys defense, they got personnel. I mean, they're a top 10 defense overall. Maybe even be closer to top 5. But at the end of the day, they like to generate turnovers. They're not great against the run, but hey, they're opportunistic at times. Lions got to do that as well. Tough team to face, but I think the Lions can pull it off. We'll get into the defense, Lions defense, in a couple minutes here because that's the next matchup. We kind of went through it. Cam Sutton questionable, maybe some of our concerns there, and how this Lions defense can get it done. We'll preview that in a couple of minutes. We're going to go to break. You're listening and watching the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Jeff Iafrate, Booner, BMG, and Pete. We'll see you guys right after the break. Shout out to our friends, by the way, Long Drink and Bullseye Event Group.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online fairwaypacking.com.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Back, Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Let's get into it. We just kind of got done talking about the offense. We had Tom Mazaway, special guest, call into the show. New Jersey's own, the mayor of Jersey, Tom Mazaway.
Would it be the mayor or would it be the governor?
I mean, he could be both.
New Jersey's a state,
The commissar.
Yeah, I think he's all the above.
Okay.
He's the Godfather. You could use that one as well.
I like that as well. That's a good one. I like that.
Now, I want to go through some of the differences here for at least the Cowboys statistically at home and on the road. The biggest one to me, Booner, is Dak Prescott. You look at his splits at home and versus on the road, two very different Daks. At home this season, he has 2,100 yards, 20 touchdown passes, and 2 interceptions. Say 20-2 touchdown interception ratio. On the road, he has 1,700 yards, 10 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. So we're talking about a significant difference between on the road Dak Prescott versus at home Dak Prescott. And that's not just him. That's the Cowboys team in general. They're undefeated this year at home. Now you'd ask who they faced, which is fair, but we can all agree they're much better at home. It's as simple as that. CeeDee Lamb is pretty much the same whether he's at home or on the road. He has significantly more touchdowns at home. He has 5 more touchdowns. He has 7 of his 9 at home. 2 of his 9 on the road. So again, it's not just Dak. This team's just different at home. They're much better. This Lions defense, this is another game where they're going to have to step up. They're going to have to be opportunistic. You're going to give up a ton of yards. Like CeeDee Lamb's going to get his. Dak's going to get over 200-plus passing yards. It is what it is. But Booner, they've got to be opportunistic. It's okay if you give up 30, if you win in a shootout. The Lions offense, a lot of pressure on them. But they have to take the ball away. They have to find ways or get this team off the field on third down. They just got to find ways to try and just cover up some of the damage.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable you're going to be in some sort of shootout. They're going to score the ball. There's no end. You're going to have to compete with them, and on offense, you're going to have to match what they do. And that's just what it is. That's because the crowd that they have at AT&T Stadium, especially in a primetime game, it's going to be probably the biggest you've seen all year. It's going to be just like Kansas City. But like you said, Jeff, you got to get takeaways, and that's something that he doesn't do a lot at home, is Dak doesn't throw the ball away a lot at home. So you have to find – and in the secondary, this right now, the safety room, they've been elite. And the last 2 games. And AG has said it all week that they talk about when interceptions come, they come in bunches. So right now, you're in that little stretch to where your secondary, Kirby Joseph, Iffy, Brian Branch, they've been taking the ball away, and they've been finding ways to do it. I think that's going to be the biggest key on defense, is you have to find a way to get your team your offense an extra possession or 2. You have to get an extra possession or 2, or you're going to have it's going to be tough to beat the team like this on the road, especially with the crowd into it and all of that. And then as well, too, and I said this on Woodward Nights, is if you can get the ball first and you can go out there and score, and I know this isn't our defense, but if you can just somehow, some way, turnovers deflate the crowd. Putting the ball in the end zone deflates the crowd.
Right.
You have to take the crowd out of it somehow. That starts in the secondary, trying to get takeaways from Dak. If you're bringing in a safety blitz, go get a strip sack. Things that they've been doing the last 2 weeks, you need to do that. And you know what's positive actually about this? Mullins last week threw for 450 yards on us?
Yeah, 400 yards.
Yeah, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. You still won the game. So Dak, he could throw for as many yards as he wants. Find a way to get the ball back and take the ball over a couple times, and I think you put yourself in a position, especially with your offense on the other side, that offense you have.
Yep.
Very dangerous.
I do think a turnover could be the difference. That's how close this game is to me. It is truly. It's going to be closer than I think even some people think. And Biggins chiming in. He says the Cowboys have played 8 games against 7 teams picking in the top 8 of the NFL draft. Nobody's looking at the facts. The Cowboys score 40 against the worst teams in the NFL. Which is true.
I did give out the stats
Very true.
earlier this week that at home, that little 15-game stretch that they've been on, they're if you combine all of those records there on that 15-game win streak at home, it's they're 20 games under 500. So it's not like it's significant where they're playing the best teams.
Just look at who they've beaten at home.
Yeah,
they beat the Jets, the Patriots, they beat the Rams, which is a big win with how they're playing now. Obviously, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. The Rams are better, much better now, but regardless. They beat the Giants at home, they beat the Commanders at home, they beat the Seattle Seahawks at home just by a touchdown. That was a close game. And then they beat the Eagles at home, which is their best win. But the Eagles have been, you look at their last couple of games. The biggest win they've had at home is the Eagles, which, again, I'm not going to discount that, but Eagles have been kind of in this.
And on the other side, the Lions,
bad slump.
They're
it's still
6-2
a big win
on the road as well, and they have some big wins
yes.
on the road as well.
And that's a great segue. The Lions, a team they're good on the road. They tend typically to step up to the challenge. I know the Ravens game, it is what it is, but when you look at the entirety of the season, that's just a small part of it.
What's crazy too, and I don't think any of us ever thought we would say this. I remember 2 years ago, before I got to Woodward, I would watch the morning show with you and Adam, and one thing that everyone would go at Dan Campbell was about, that man could not win on the road. They couldn't, like, their road record was so bad they couldn't find a way.
It was true.
This year, now, it was very true. Yeah, statistically, it was spot on. Now this year, being 6-2 on the road, one of the losses is to the Ravens, who's the best team in football right now. So you're sitting there, and then obviously an NFC North team. So you're sitting there, you have this experience on the road. Dan has found a way, leading all the way back to that Green Bay game last year on the road in primetime. He's found a way to get these guys up for big games like this,
right?
Especially on the road. So that doesn't bother me at all. I think him, AG, Ben Johnson, they know how to take the crowd out of this game. They know exactly how to do it. They did it last week versus Minnesota when they got the ball first. I know they didn't score right away, but he said it felt like they marched down the field a little bit and the crowd came out of it a little bit. And that's what you need to do again today and tonight. You need to find ways to just get the crowd out of the game, man.
Now, I want to mention this, too, just to give context on that Rams win. Matthew Stafford played in that game, but he left early. So they had a backup. But regardless, the game was, at that point, I mean, Cowboys were up by a lot anyway. But to speak more on just some of the injuries for the Cowboys, because I do want to give some context there. One player that I think is super, super important for what the Cowboys want to do is Tyron Smith. You know, he's been a guy who's been banged up as of the last couple of years. He's at times stayed healthy, but this season he was out last week. He didn't practice all week. Typically he doesn't practice and he still plays. But if that's a player who's out, again, matchup advantage, Aiden Hutchinson.
Yes.
This is a guy who, again, we bring him up every single week, but this pass rush lives and dies mostly by Aiden. How big of a game he has is typically how big of a game the defensive line has. This is another game, Booner, where it's big stage. You need your playmakers to step up. You need your big-time players to step up, and Aiden falls into that category.
Yeah, I mean, even look at the other side here. I was just looking this up because I saw this on Twitter today. Terrence Steele, he's the other tackle that they have.
Yep.
45.4, and I know I'm sitting here and I feel like I'm in the morning show right now filling in flannels.
It's the seat, that PFF.
I'm looking at this PFF,
stuff.
but if you look at it, 73rd out of 77 out of qualified tackles in the league, and he gives up the highest quarterback pressure rate, 8%, so 8.6% in the whole NFL. So today should be a day that Aiden Hutchinson, whether he's going up against their backup or if he's going up against Terrence Steele, he should have a day today and he should dominate. Whether he gets home and gets a sack or not, he should be putting pressure on Dak all night long and disrupting that offense. Like Dak should I'm not going to say that. I'm in flannel seat. I almost got into flannel. I really almost got into flannel.
Knock him out the game or something?
Yeah, but I was going to say.
Jesus.
But what I was going to say is he should put pressure on. Don't let him get the ball to his weapons. Don't let that happen. And looking at this, you're going up against Terrence Steele, one of the worst tackles in the league, PFF wise. You should be able to, if you're one of the best in the league and you're elite like people say Aiden is, you should dominate today. And I may have a play on Aiden Hutchinson in my bets tonight.
Sam chiming in, so you all must like PFF now because it applies to people's narratives. Sam,
I do like
you
it.
understand.
You know that.
No,
when it fits your narrative, you want to use it.
No, I don't mind PFF. I always say I like to sprinkle it on my arguments. I don't like to base an argument around PFF. I like to kind of sprinkle.
I think that was a good sprinkle, right?
You sprinkled a little bit.
Okay, that was a sprinkle. Yeah, we were talking about the whole offensive line.
Little salt-based sprinkle.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, no, I don't mind it.
Yeah,
because you brought up, hey, Terrence Steele isn't a great tackle. Here's the PFF grade.
Yeah,
you know, it's not like he isn't a great tackle because of this PFF grade, but Tyron Smith, he is questionable. I think I watched Tim Twentyman's. He does these great Lions breakdown shows. Shout out to Tim Twentyman. He's a legend. But he had a Cowboys beat reporter from The Athletic on. He talked about Tyron Smith. He's probably about a 50-50 this game. So we'll see. He could play. But if he doesn't, again, better for the Lions. Let's go to break here. When we come back, I do want to get into Booner's bets because that is one of the biggest segments of this entire network and probably in the country. Booner's bets.
I want to throw this out there. The last 2 weeks, I'm 13-0 on my straight bets.
Jesus.
12-1 on the year in legacy plays. The legacy play, I give out one player. You take the touchdown catches and yards, and then also the last two parlays I've given out last week and the week before, both hit.
I'm not. Yeah, I guess I'm not.
So I have not lost I have not lost a bet I've given out on this show in over 2 weeks.
I was 3-0 last week too on my.
See, everyone's been cooking. And I was hot last week too. It must just be in the air.
We're hitting.
It must be a good. It's a good couple of weeks. Now
I'm going undefeated again today. I'm not losing a bet today.
I bet you are.
Let's go.
Now the one thing I want to bring up too, guys, is Cowboys, man. Watch out. You know why? Bruce Irvin activated.
Ooh.
Tyson Alualu activated.
We finally get to see them out there.
Those are the secret weapons the Lions have been hiding. Bruce Irvin, Tyson Alualu. Check those PFF grades, huh? But they're pretty good for those two players.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're like 38 years old. But guess what? Cowboys hey, that offensive line, be ready. Let's go to break. When we come back, well, like I said, we're getting to Booner's bets. Mike's got a couple of big ones for you guys. It's ridiculous, the odds this man finds, and he continues to cook. We'll see when we come back. You're listening to tuning in to the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by our friends at Bullseye Event Group, Lions VIP Tailgate, and our friends over at Long Drink. See you guys right after the break.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers, this is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
What is the challenge here with resetting and refocusing and putting the celebration behind you and making sure you...
That's the biggest opponent right now for us, is really the satisfaction, complacency. That is what we're going to fight from here on out. And they're going to know that. We'll have a meeting here in a little bit, and we got smart guys. They understand that, because all these questions, no different than, and I understand why you'd ask it and why it is a big story, because it's been 30 years. But if we continue to talk about it and we answer them and we live in that moment, then we're not getting to the next thing. And it's really no different than what happens in the playoffs. You win a big game in the playoffs, well, you don't have time to really enjoy it. You got to get ready for the next one, and that's where we're at. So it's a great thing. I wish we had more time to enjoy it, but we don't. And we're off to the next one, and we got to want more. We got to stay hungry, or we won't be able to get the next one.
Dan Campbell speaking to the media earlier this week, talking about the complacency, which is a fair question with what the Lions have been doing. But I think Dan Campbell, the perfect man for the job. Perfect man to keep these guys grounded. I love Dan Campbell, and I do believe the Lions will be locked in today. I don't see a blowout at all. I mean, it happens in the NFL. We've seen the 49ers get blown out to the Ravens. I just don't see it. We've seen it with the Lions. I just don't think this is the game. No. I truly don't believe it.
Shout out Dan, too. He does love me as well.
Okay, you just got to...
You're milking that one.
I know.
I'm just stating a fact, man. You guys wouldn't.
Get a room on.
If Dan awesome, did what he did to you guys wouldn't mention it.
We should play that clip. That was dope.
We definitely would mention it. You're not lying.
Super happy for you.
Yeah, Booner, you're the go. All right. Booner, this whole segment's about you. All right. Let's hear about the bets. What do you got for us today? What are you cooking up?
I've got a lot for you guys today. Like I already said, I am 13-0 the last 2 weeks on straight plays, 12-1 on the year in legacy play of the game. Legacy player of the game. I'm doing something I've never done before. I've never done this. Typically, I pick one player and we go touchdown, yards, and then or if it's a receiver, we go receptions.
Okay.
I'm splitting it in half. I'm going 2 players for the legacy today. I don't know if this is legal or not. I did.
Yeah, because what if one plays one, one doesn't? Is it still? It has
a win? To go. That's the thing with the legacy play is it has to go 3-0 for it to hit. The one loss I have, Jameer, he hit everything besides a touchdown that week. So it has to hit. Everything has to hit. That's the thing with these legacy plays is I give 2 or 3 out from each player and they go undefeated. So legacy player of the game this week, first one, Jameer Gibbs touchdown. He is the touchdown scorer for the legacy play. Plus 110, he will get in the end zone. And for the yards, we're not going Jameer Gibbs. We are going Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he today over 6.5 catches and over 82.5 yards. If you go look back at the Cowboys, Every time they play an elite wide receiver, they give up about 100 yards or plus to them. A.J. Brown had 2 good games. Like, all these guys, what's his name? Curtis Samuel. I know he's not like an elite guy, but he's a dude when he was playing them, and he went off. Different guys. Tyreek Hill went off versus them. They allow the wide receiver ones to get theirs, and Amon-Ra St. Brown will get that today. So that's the legacy players: St. Brown yards, catches, and then a Gibbs touchdown. Total plays. These are the ones that I went 13-0 the last 2 weeks on.
You've been hot.
So I'm adding on to it here.
Okay.
First one. We're going again. We're adding Gibbs into this one. The yards, we're taking it from the legacy and put it down. Gibbs, overall total. This is crazy from Booner, I know, fellas. Over 79.5 total yards, and as well, over 50.5 rushing yards. This next one, Jamison Williams, over 32.5 yards. 32.5 is very low in my opinion.
It is.
Jared Goff, this is a weird one. I don't know if you guys can get it on all your sports books, whatever you use. Jared Goff, though, over 23.5 completions. Last week he had 30 in Minnesota. I think tonight's a shootout. You're going to see him get at least 24 or more completions. Aiden Hutchinson's sack. I already talked to you guys about this whole situation with the tackles. You brought that up. And then I talked to you about the other guy with the PFF stats.
Yep.
Aiden Hutchinson gets home today. -111, Aiden Hutchinson sack. The last single play I have here is the Detroit Lions team total. You guys will find out when I do my score prediction. It's sitting at 23.5. Take it. To win this game, they have to score more than 30 points. 23.5 is too low. I think they get that done today. And then last thing, Booner's Lay of the Day. Do you guys want that now? Or do you want
Let's
to
hear
wait?
it. Yeah.
Want it now?
Give us the parlay.
Booner's Lay of the Day. This hit back-to-back weeks. Plus 650. Plus 650 today. Jared Goff, 225.
Okay.
I like that. Boys like that?
Yep.
Love that. Dak Prescott, 250.
Okay.
We're in a shootout. He gets 250. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery both to rush for 40 yards.
Okay.
Love that. Amon-Ra St. Brown to get 6 catches tonight. And Jamison Williams, 25 yards. That is plus 650.
I like it.
That is the Booner Lay of the day. That is a lock. I'm telling you, I've hit 2 straight parlays, and I've gone 13-0 on these straight plays. All of these plays hit today. Lock it in.
The whole Gibbs and Montgomery 40 yards each has been just cooking.
They get 50 a week, both of them.
And the line just keeps being disrespected.
Yeah.
But BMG, what do you got? I know you got a couple plays. What do you think of Booner's as well? Because he just
I like one. I have one of Booner's actually in mind, but I'm rolling back with my man Monty for the anytime, and I don't know what his line is for rushing, but I got it at 52.5. I like the over on that. Monty gets 50 yards a game. I think they're going to go back to him heavy, even though he struggled a little bit last week. I want to say he had like 15 carries for like 50 yards, but I still think he gets that. And then I'm going J-Mo. Jeff, we talked about this one. J-Mo over 2.5 and J-Mo's over 32.5. Cowboys played on defense. 75% of their snaps are man coverage. J-Mo, 1 deep ball. He's getting that. He's cooking someone today. And then I have 2 Cowboys plays, and that's I know, I don't want to do it, but Dak 275. He's hit that in 6 out of the last 9 games. The Lions average 279 to opposing quarterbacks. So I'm rolling with that one, and then I'm doing the under on Tony Pollard, 56.5. Tony Pollard ain't getting that.
They've just been stopping running backs in their tracks, the Lions. It's actually impressive.
I like that. I love that play.
I don't think we bring that up, but I know we bring it up, but we talk more about our concerns for the defense. That's like one thing that no one talks about. Because we're talking about the things that concern us, as we should, but the rushing defense is just stout.
I mean, they've done it the last 2 weeks without Aleem McNeil too.
That's true.
And with Aleem, it was even better. And then
their best run defender.
Yeah, and with Bugs in, he's been able to just step up and do the same thing.
Pete, what do you think of the plays? And you got anything of your own you'd like to share?
Honestly, no. I mean, I didn't bet a lot today, guys. I wasn't prepared for that. But yeah, I did take the Amon-Ra's longest reception of the night at over 23.5. That's the best I got for you.
Yeah, you brought that up, and DK Metcalf had one. It was he torched the Cowboys by himself, and that was, I believe Geno was in that game as well. But it seems like the Cowboys, and you brought this up, Booner, they just give up whatever the yards is or catches to opposing teams' wide receiver 1. So I think anything with Amon-Ra St. Brown, I approve of it. I do.
I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that with Pete.
Thank you.
I'm gonna ride
Thank
that.
you. Here we go.
That's my play.
Jesse Adams put in the chat his parlay. Jesse says, thoughts on this parlay? Gibbs, Laporta, Cooks, TD. St. Brown, alternate 50 yards. Gibbs, 40 alternate rushing yards. Lions money line. It's plus 426. 4,260 on FanDuel. Jesus. And you got the Lions money line in there. I just don't like putting money lines in parlays. I don't like it because I like to win no matter what. I don't want it to be based on solely just a victory.
Yeah, I don't typically do money lines.
But at plus, what are they, 200? I don't hate it at all, Jesse. One of those plays I actually agree with is a Cooks TD. Because even if Cam Sutton especially is out, that would mean Jerry Jacobs probably takes the CeeDee Lamb matchup, and then good luck whoever guards Brandon Cooks. Because you saw KJ Osborne last week. What'd he do? I mean, that guy's he scored a TD as well. Here we go. Steve Wild says, I sense Jeff being scared for tonight. Yeah, of course. Mike gives out the Cowboys parlays or the plays, and I'm scared. I don't. Mike literally gives out Cowboy plays, and I'm scared.
I was fading one of them, and Dak's gonna get his. I'm just.
And no, I agree.
Jeff got attacked, went right to you, Mike. He said,
I know. Why
take it.
Yeah. He that to me.
Speakeasy says Josh Reynolds' longest catch, 12.5 yards. Is that really the over-under?
Probably, but I don't actually hate that, to be honest. Josh Reynolds, I mean, a couple earlier in the year, before JMO kind of got active, I was putting in some of my parlays, his longest reception, and it was always at like 21, and he always would get like a 20-yard catch. So if it's 12.5, I don't hate that.
Pete's bet has hit 4 out of the last 5 games.
You just checked?
Yep.
Oh, Pete, look
sweet.
at that.
All right. I got $100 on it, too, so there you go.
Oh, Pete.
Yeah, let's go, Pete.
Hey, man, I bet adult figures.
Timothy says Jameson has had a better Jameson has a better day than St. Brown. Laporta has a monster day also. Gibbs going to get his longest run of the season. Wow, Timothy coming in with the prediction. Dude, that's if you want to talk about another weakness on the Cowboys is their linebacker core. Like Sam Laporta can have a big game. I think he will have a big game.
I think he will as well. I thought that. I remember last year the tight ends combined for about 100 yards. It was Hawk and I think Brock Wright. So I thought maybe this week, but then I looked this year like the Dallas defense versus tight ends. And I mean, guys like George Kittle had like 60 yards. A couple guys had like 50 yards. And besides that, no one really went off. That's why I do think Laporta, I may sprinkle a little bit just on his yards, or a touchdown.
60 range.
Yeah, and I think his line's at like 50. So I do think he gets a couple catches and looks good. I just don't know if he's going to have one of those. And I may be completely wrong. He may go out there and go for one of those 140-yard games like he did a couple weeks ago.
Never know.
But I don't see it. Looking at the kind of what Dallas has done with tight ends this year, I don't see it as much.
Just a fan says gambling has ruined true teams fandom because everyone is worried about their parlays. Lions hate it. Just one man's opinion. I get that. I also don't agree because I try to win money regardless. But I get what you're saying, just a fan. It does kind of skew sometimes, especially when you're watching the game and you're like, well, I want the Lions to win, but also I need Cooks to catch this 25
Well, that's why I tell Spencer this all the time.
Spencer
will do a touchdown parlay and it'll be like a different player on the other team, and I always stay away from that. Like if I take his parlay, I'll just switch your parlay. I'll just take Brandon Cooks out.
TJ says TJ says I already started drinking in preparation for this game. There you go, TJ. That's how you approach the game, baby. LePat says Lions kicking down the door. Budget Jim says I definitely understand all this gambling talk. Well, let's go to break here. It is a segment we do every single week. Hey, he puts the plays out there. It's the people's. It's an opportunity. If you want to take them, go ahead. If you don't, it's cool. It's all good.
Again, 13-0 the last 2 weeks.
It's free money.
Plays on this show.
It's free money. It is free money. All right, let's go to break here. When we come back, we'll get into. I have a question, and I want to ask people now, and we can answer it when we come back. One player, defensively, offensively, that you need to step up or have a big game this week. We'll give our players out when we come back. You're tuning into the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Again, shout out to our friends over at Long Drink and Bullseye Event Group.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
What?
Oh, yeah. Nothing. G-G-G-G-A. Oh, sorry, I forgot. There we go. Oh,
Cheers, buddy. I think we need to get you a pick.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
We played well. I think this will be our biggest challenge of the year. It's my personal opinion. Some people may differ, as far as Philadelphia or the past games, but just based off what we've seen on video, at the end of last week and yesterday, I think this is going to be a heck of a game.
Big Mike McCarthy.
Big fella.
Big fella. He says it's going to be a hell of a game. I love how he talks. It's so funny. Mike McCarthy talking about the Detroit Lions, maybe and there's respect there.
Just
mutually.
a big grizzly bear, man.
Yeah. I think you're Mike McCarthy Jr.
No, I'm Mads Jr. Come on, don't disrespect me like that. Come on, what are we doing here?
All right, I'll take that back.
Apologize real quick.
I'm sorry.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
You're better looking.
Thank you.
You are.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There
That's
you go.
good.
Yeah, he doesn't have a mullet like you. So, I'll give you that. Oh, look at him. Oh, this guy.
Beautiful. It's coming in nice. Wow, look at that thing.
This guy. Yeah. No, just stay away from
that?
my girl, all right? Appreciate it. Let's get into it. One player, offensively and defensively, you think needs to have a big game tonight. You choose one. You guys start putting yours in the chat. We'll start offensively. Who's somebody you need to have a big one tonight for the Lions?
I'm going to throw this out there too real quick because who was it that was supposed to be out? Tyron Smith?
Tyron Smith? Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I
Update
believe he will be in, and that's not official. But I gave out the Hutch sack. We saw some people in the chat say that the line has moved. I got it at -111. It's moved on FanDuel to +114. Some books it's like +140. My guess is he's in and he's playing. So I'm going to go defense to start this off. I'm going to say no matter who's in, no matter who's playing, that defensive line, Aiden Hutchinson, they need to play well. You need to get to Dak Prescott because if you don't have those corners, if Cam Sutton's out, or even if he's 80% and he's going, you have to disrupt that offense in a different way. It's getting to Dak, making Dak make plays on the run, making him mess up because your corners aren't going to do it. Your defensive line can put pressure on him, make him make mistakes so your safeties can make plays. Mm-hmm. But to disrupt that offense, it's not going to be the corners. It's going to be Aiden Hutchinson. Hopefully on the other side, that Bruce Irvin kind of thing as well. So that's my key guy on defense is Aiden Hutchinson.
Did you give out offense?
Offense, I did not.
Okay, well, we'll go defense then. You know what? Screw what I said. We'll go defense.
Well, you said offense and defense, so I didn't know if I do both.
No, you're
or
good.
one.
You know what? We'll
you did say both.
We'll start. I said offense.
Run the clip.
I said offense. Well, hey, we'll stick.
Throw the red flag.
Defense.
Yeah,
we'll go defense. No, Booner. I'm with you. You're driving. I'm just in the passenger seat. All right?
Whoa.
What? What the whoa on that?
I don't know. Gentry? What do we have?
Man.
Okay,
Booner stole mine. I already kind of alluded to it earlier. Hutch needs to have a big game. You make Dak uncomfortable. You can't have him given all the time in the world because he's going to cut up the secondary. You guys already alluded to that as well. So I'm going Aiden Hutchinson. But really, it's the defensive line as a whole. You got to get to Dak and get some pressure on him, hit the quarterback, force a turnover, something. Defensive line for me.
Yeah, I think that's got to be everything. The defensive line. I'm with you guys. Aiden Hutchinson he needs to have a big game. And I'm not saying 2-3 sacks, but come on, you got to get consistent pressure. But yeah, pressure's cool, but can we get a sack too? I think we'd all love that. I think not even just a sack, but if you could force a fumble, Aiden, and we've seen him get interceptions. He's their best player on defense. He has to show that. He has to.
Yeah.
Now, offensively, I'm going to go with the offensive line because there's not one player. I think it's a complete the unit. They have to have a big one today. Couple of reasons. One, in pass protection, because we know what this Cowboys defensive line wants to do. They want to pin their ears back. If the Cowboys get a 2-score lead, like I said, you allow them to do that. So the offensive line and pass protection, they've been really good. They got to continue that. The other thing is what they do in the run game. And yeah, that's partially on the running backs, but the offensive line, man, these guys got to have a big day. And at least for the offense, how do you kind of prevent mistakes? Well, don't force Jared Goff, and this is for any quarterback, but really this week's important. Don't force this to be a one-dimensional offense. And with how you do that is they establish the run, and everything else will kind of take care of itself. So I think the offensive line, at least offensively, got to have a huge game today. They have to. Everything, I think, dictates. We know how far this offense goes is how far the offensive line will take them, but today, especially with what the Cowboys want to do, they got Deron Bland and all his pick sixes, run the football, establish play action.
And I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to run the ball, establish play action. And then, you know what comes down after that, especially when you get into a game where you have to beat Dallas and they're going to put up 30-something points? It comes down to Jared Goff, and I think that's going to be my key guy today. I was going to go run game, all of that. That's been something we've talked about all week. Today I'm going to go, this is a Jared Goff type of game. We know we're going to run the ball. We know what our offensive line is going to do. When that play action is established, what does Jared Goff do with the ball versus Deron Bland, Stephon Gilmore, the secondary that they have? Is he going to get the guy? Is he going to get the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown, or is he going to go out there and have these turnovers? If the defensive line does get to him at times, is he going to be able to take care of the ball? That's what it comes down to. We talked about the turnover battle all week long. Jared Goff, it comes down to him. Take care of the football, don't fumble it, and just play a solid game. And I think with the run game and the offensive line, the Lions will have a chance to win it if he takes care of the ball.
The big part of kind of mentioning the offensive line too, and Sean brought this up, and I talked about this on the morning show yesterday, and it's super important. Sean says clock control, run the ball, keep Dak on the sidelines, and our defense fresh. That's the other part, is if they're running the football and in the time of possession you're dominating, that's going to help the Lions.
Yeah.
You can't put this defense, already not great defense, in compromising positions. And how do you do that? Time of possession, like they did last week against the Vikings. Although and same with the Broncos. You're dominating time of possession. It just makes it hard. I know Nick Mullins threw for a ton of yards, but what else did he have? Multiple interceptions.
Yep.
So that's what it comes down to. Let's see. Gritville says Jared is good, least of our worries. And this isn't a segment of worries. You're just saying he's got to have a big game, or at least he's got to play a clean game. I think you'd phrase it like that. And I agree. Got to have a clean game. What about you, BMG Pete? Some at least offensively. Who do you need to step up?
I kind of was with you on yours, the offensive line, but I'm just going to go the running backs. Obviously, the offensive line, when they're fully healthy, you know they're going to do your job. So the running backs just hit the holes, and when you are involved in the receiving game, especially Jahmyr Gibbs, who is going to be a big part, as you've seen James Cook with the Bills, you just got to catch the balls and keep them going. The offensive line is going to do the job, so I'm going to go the running backs.
What about you, Pete?
Well, I tell you what, man. If you want to win this game, you're going to have pressure up the middle. Absolutely, you're going to have to force Dak out of the pocket, force him to move, force him to run, and that's going to be the key for the Lions to win this victory. But I tell you what, you also got to stop Tony Pollard. Mm-hmm. I really think that's going to be your key to winning this game, is put a stop to him, force Dak to throw. He'll throw at least 2 interceptions if that happens, and that's how I feel about that.
This comment, Dan Campbell's goatee. Thank you for chiming in. I appreciate your presence. He says, I'm from the future. Bruce Irvin knocks Tua Tagovailoa out the Super Bowl. Lions beat Dolphins 31-28. Thank you for that, Dan Campbell's goatee.
Hey, I want to throw something out real quick with this kind of offensive time of possession thing as well. I'm just looking back at some of these other games, Jeff, that they've lost like big to, like the 49ers, the Eagles, the Bills. And that was like in those 3 games that they kind of got dominated a little bit. That was kind of the difference of that game. The 49ers, they beat them 42-10. Time of possession, 37 minutes to 22 minutes.
There you go.
The Bills beat them 31-10, 35 minutes to 24 minutes. That is kind of the key. And as well, when the Eagles did beat them in Philly, they won the time of possession by a few minutes as well. So I think whoever made that comment, that's a great point. I gave out one of my keys to victory yesterday was Dan Campbell and kind of coaching this game and winning that coaching battle. I think that's part of it as well with Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell is find a way for AG to get those turnovers and get the ball. Like that time of possession, if you keep the ball out of that offensive hand, their hands, that's what they do not want to happen. James Cook did it. The 49ers did it with McCaffrey, and the Eagles did it with DeAndre Swift for a little bit. So that's huge. Whoever said that, shout out.
Steve Lehman says, pound the rock, control the clock. I actually like that.
I like that saying. Can we get a shirt with that?
Yeah, actually. You know what, Steve?
Ooh, I like that.
You're onto something, Steve. I like that. Tony says, Jeff is my dad. I love you, Jeff. Unless Tony, appreciate you, Tony.
Do you know Tony?
I'm not your dad, though.
Do you know Tony personally?
No, I do not. I'm not. I don't have any kids. I can confirm that. I know that.
Are you sure?
I mean, yeah. No, I'm.
Sure?
Yeah.
I think Jeff has a couple kids.
No, I do not. At least I have to call
You
Lex
really are
after
thinking
this.
about this.
Did Lex have a baby and didn't tell me, or what? I don't know. Well, it's
Named
regardless. Named Tony. All right, let's get into some of these other comments here. Randy P says, "Congratulations." God, you guys are funny. All right, let's see.
I missed the party, like to bring the diapers and everything.
I think Lex has never had a baby. I can confirm that.
All right.
We're good. Let's see. I King Horse says Pollard has blown all year. He actually blown is a little aggressive. I'm not gonna lie.
No, he's been pretty.
But he's been bad. Yeah,
especially inside the red zone. That guy's fucking brutal. So.
Yeah, he really is.
They miss Zeke.
Yeah, they do.
They miss Zeke.
They really. Don't worry.
People thought Zeke was bad. No, they miss Zeke.
They got Rico Dowdle.
I said that on Friday to you, Booner.
Rico Dowdle.
Did you?
Miss Zeke, yeah.
Miss Zeke.
Flannel, too, if he's in the chat.
Shout out Flannel.
He'll back me up on that. They miss Zeke.
Flannel's definitely in the chat. He pops up every time we say Flannel. You see a Flannel comment pop up for sure.
What the fuck?
Let's see. All right. We'll go to break here. We come back. We'll give out our Lions score. We'll break down more of the game itself. You're tuning into the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We'll see you guys right after the break.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new Down Home Comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome back to the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Jeff Iafrate, Booner, BMG, Pete hanging out. Previewing Lions, Cowboys. We just kind of went through some of the matchups, offensively, defensively. Let's get to it. Break down the game a little bit of itself. Just kind of give a quick little summary and maybe tell me a final score here. I'm going to read some of the people's, though, before we get into our own, because they're coming in. Sean says 38-27. I believe he means Lions for that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sean. Matt B, 35-24 Lions. Biggins, 42-20 Lions. Shift God, 34-28. Todd says 41-31 Lions. Screens says 100-2. I like that one. A-Dis says 27-23 Lions. Paul Thomas, Lions 34-30. Anthony Marino says 21-24 Lions. One Pride, Lions 24, girls 13. Dan Campbell's goatee, the great Dan Campbell's goatee, says the offense is going to be on full display tonight. Lions win 41-38. There you go. Shane D, 45-31 Lions win. Mike says Mike Simpson, Lions 31, Cowboys 24. Adam Whitehead says Dak TD plus 440.
I'm not taking the Cowboys TD.
Okay, I was just baiting you into that. Chef, my guy, says Jeff Lions finished with more points than Cowboys. That's fair. You're not
Great
wrong.
Great prediction. I love that.
You're not wrong.
Shout out Chef.
I like that.
There you go. Appreciate all the scores. I'm going to try to get to a couple more, but there's a lot here. Sean says happy early Father's Day, Jeff. Sean, we're not doing this today. All right, we're let's get into the game predictions. All right, moving on.
What's
Booner,
the kid's name?
Booner. I'll start. His name's Booner. All right, let's start with you. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That was a joke.
That was a good one.
I'm just kidding.
I would take that.
What's your final score prediction? Tell me. How do you see it playing out?
Yeah, I'm going to keep this the same way. I said this on Woodward Nights yesterday. I think this is a high-scoring game, kind of a shootout type deal. I don't think like the Lions are going to win this football game at the end of the day. They found ways to win in Kansas City and Green Bay multiple times now. They find ways to interrupt, and Dan Campbell, he knows how to get these guys ready. That's something I'm not worried about. I think that Ravens game was a one-off, and I think this is that biggest game where the Lions kind of start to take that turn. If we're talking about the Booner path, the path isn't saying, hey, this is a lock. The Lions are going to go win a Super Bowl. They're going to be like that. That's not the Booner path. The Booner path is showing a vision.
Are you
of
really?
What, let me get my score prediction.
How did we get back
Are
to
you
the
going to
Booner
let me
path?
have my score prediction? Or the Booner path is
finish
showing
up the
the people the vision of what this football team can do at their best. That is what the Booner. People said, Booner, give me an explanation. That is what it is. What can this team do at their best, at their peak? What can Dan take this team to these new heights? They might not go win the Super Bowl this year, but guess what? Dan has them in the right direction.
Okay.
The path is the right direction and leading the people to that. The Detroit Lions, they win this football game, and we start to turn the corner on that path to being great and being the real America's football team. The Detroit Lions 41, the Dallas Cowboys 36.
Lions fans.
Or 34. 41-34. That's the real score. Sorry. I got excited. 41-34. Detroit Lions. Well, I can't have a little intro to my score prediction. What are we doing here?
That's fair. I like it.
There's Spenny.
Why can't I do why?
Okay,
we'll get Spenny in the chair.
You can do whatever you want. All right.
All right, I'm going 35-31, the Lions. And let me plug on our socials right now. If you pick the score and guess the first TD score, you can win $5K. We have a little giveaway going on, so go do that on our social media. But 35-31, Lions, and Monty's getting the first TD. Let me help you guys out.
There you go. Pete, what do you got?
Well, boys, as you're seeing strike first, strike hard, Lions need to score first right away. But I said Lions defense gets a safety tonight.
Oh.
33-28 final score, and Money Badger hits a nice 52-yarder.
Money Badger. Speaking of Money Badger, he's very crucial in my final score. Lions win 33-30 on a walk-off from Money Badger. Okay, this is what's going to happen, and I'm going to detail it for you. It is bold. It's bold as hell. Money Badger, they drive down the field. 5 seconds left, timeout. Cowboys ice it. Money Badger goes out. Nails it was 35 earlier this week. I'm going to move it to 40. It's a 40-yarder in Jerry's world. And he leaves the stadium, I'll say 5 to 10 women, Dallas women. Money Badger, MVP of the Lions. He scores on and off the field that night, and he's a Lions legend, cemented himself. Game winner in Dallas.
33-30 is a crazy score.
Give me the Lions 33-30. It's a weird score.
That's only happened 26 times in the history of the NFL.
Well, guess what? It's going to happen. It's going to happen a 27th time.
What a wild.
Spenny.
I'm just trying to think, how do you get to 33? 30.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Spenny joining the program.
What's up, Spenny?
Raxter.
Shout out. Give me a good artist.
He just missed
week.
your Booner Path nonsense.
It's not nonsense. Come on, man. Give me some credit
Spenny,
here. I'm starting to get tired of this.
Spenny, how you feeling about this game? And
I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty nervous. I mean, if the Lions go out there, they play their game, they run the ball, they should be able to win. Dallas can't stop the run, and we have one of the best running games in the NFL. So you go out there, you feed Monty, you feed Gibbs. Should be pretty good, dude. I'm feeling rough right now.
Are you all right? Yeah, I've never seen you this.
I drank a lot last night. It was my boy's birthday, and we were getting down. Like 2/5 of Don Julio.
I saw some of the videos. I was like, let's go, Spenny.
Yeah, it was tough, dude. It was a rough night. And so I'm chilling today because tomorrow's going to be rough, too. But
it was part 2.
Hopefully the Lions get the dub, pick my spirits up a little bit. But, yeah, I'm not feeling great.
What was the score prediction?
My score prediction was 31-27.
I like that,
Dallas.
too. Oh, no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Of course you don't. It doesn't fit your narrative.
Dude, you
I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Of course.
Like, I want the Lions to win. But they're so good at home, man. They're undefeated at home. Secondary is iffy for the Lions at best, especially with Cam Sutton and the injury he's dealing with. So we'll see. I hope I'm wrong.
This comment, Kyle O'Brien says, "Yo, who's this dude? I want to party with him."
Hey.
Oh, that is.
My name's Spencer.
Spencer Raxter.
I have a good time. New Year's Eve, Cicerelli's.
Yes, we all will be there.
Yeah, but last night was.
The Don Who guy.
Literally 2/5 of Don Who.
That's all it needs
I
to
mean,
be
I
said.
poured some shots for other people too, but it was. I was so drunk I was trash at beer pong. I'm cold at beer pong.
Yeah.
And I was that messed up that I was missing everything. I felt bad for my partner.
That is one half of the heavyweights, Spencer Raxter, and you can party.
I
with
would
him.
love to be a beer pong partner with you. It's just like a vibe thing.
I'd love to be your beer pong partner too, Booner.
We should do it one time. It would be a good
Maybe
vibe.
they'll have it at Cicerelli's.
Okay.
We should bring some solo cups, set up a beer pong.
Yeah,
table.
let's just
I'm down.
honestly,
Let's do that.
I mean, we know the owner, so
Yeah.
what are they going to say?
We'll set a spot up in the middle of the
Say, I
dance
fucking
floor.
know the owner.
We have privilege. Yep, that is true.
Are you going mullet too, Jeff?
I am.
Oh, dude, let's see it.
Jeff's gone mullet before me.
Hold on, I got a little bit of lettuce back here.
Well, take the hat off. Pull the hat off.
I got. It's not.
Okay.
It's not the presence of Booner's mullet.
Booner, let's see.
It's because I'm gonna keep shaving.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm gonna keep shaving. I'm gonna keep the top short so it really looks like.
Oh, you guys are looking good, man. You guys got to get the dangly cross earrings too.
Yeah, well,
I'll
no.
get like, I don't want
That is a part that goes with the mullet aesthetic.
That is Booner. That sounds like a Booner move.
The dangly cross. No, that's
Yeah.
definitely a you.
Why does it gotta be me?
I don't know. You just seem like a guy that would rock.
Damn.
No, you guys, they look good though.
I appreciate that,
They look
Spenny. Yeah. By the way, watch stream. You staying for that?
Yep. Yeah,
Me
that's
and
why I'm
Spenny
here.
sit next to each other every time.
Yeah, me and Booner have a system.
This is a tradition. 18 weeks. or
Rake's gonna come
16
by,
in
so
a
he's
row.
gonna bring a case of beer for the boys.
Is he really?
Oh, let's
My
go.
boy Mustache is coming, I think. So
Yeah,
You said your boy Mustache.
Yeah.
Like, that's what his name is.
His
Mustache.
name, yeah, it's Mustache Mike. He's had a mustache since like third grade.
Stash.
That is the hell of it.
He's had a mustache since like third grade, so we call him Mustache.
Mustache Mike.
That's one of my brothers. Booner knows him.
I don't
remember.
know.
He's at his house. We watched
Won
the
a
fights
huge
at his house.
UFC bet
That
at his
man,
house.
that man's a character. I bet.
Oh no,
Great.
he's actually very tame. He's
Great
a very tame guy. Yeah,
Mustache
yeah, he's a very tame guy.
Mustache Mike is
Yeah.
chill.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
very
His
chill guy.
name's
trusting you.
Stash.
Stat. We call him Stash.
Stash,
yeah.
not Mustache Mike. Come on,
Well,
Jeff.
it was originally Mustache Mike. But
No, I like Stash better.
we call him Stash.
Sounds
yeah.
way better.
That's my guy.
There you go.
I love that.
Mustache Mike. Yeah, Gridfield says stop with the bromance. This is a hell of a bromance here.
This is bromance.
Yeah, this is.
Man, what do you mean? Guys are looking good. I'm not calling him Chet Riprock or whatever.
Chet Riprock,
No,
Dash, whatever the
I
hell
fuck
his
with the
name is.
mullet, man. It's a good look.
Mr. K. Wells says, I'll bring the weed if you'll need it.
Shit.
See, we got people, they'll bring whatever you guys need. We got beer at the watch party, some long drinks. Take it all.
Watch
Some
parties fun,
pizza.
man. Watch parties are fun.
Some
We
pizza.
do 3 minutes until the
Anthony
injuries
says,
come out.
Anthony
fellas.
says, there it is. I'm going to Cicerelli's tonight. It's actually tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
New Year's Eve.
Tomorrow night, New Year's Eve,
Yep.
Cicerelli's. Be there. It's going to be a banger.
John Lord says, no fights in the streets tonight, Spenny.
No fights in the streets. I will make no promises, but I don't intend on getting in any.
Yeah.
So
You don't start, you just
I don't
finish
know.
it. You just
I
finish
was
it.
literally trying to stop the fight.
But
Do you guys remember that story?
Yeah.
I mean,
you just helping your boy out.
yeah. If you guys didn't hear, if you're new to the station and you haven't heard this story, we were in the streets of Royal Oak, and it was after the draft.
Streets of
It
Royal
was literally after the draft this year, and all the boys, we were all having a good time at the draft.
Of course, yeah.
We were pretty messed up, and we go to this pizza place, and there's these kids outside arguing. They like all walk out. I say kids, but they're like 20, mid-20s.
Same thing.
Walk outside because we think they're gonna fight. So like, cool, let's go watch a fight. We go out there, and Anson starts screaming at this kid for like no reason. And I was like, I grab Anson, I move him somewhere else, and I was like, bro, you're not about to fight these kids for no reason. Like, stop being an idiot. And I turn around, and when I turn around, Easy's in the street with 2 kids. So I run out there.
You can't let him get.
Yeah, no, I dropped one of them, and then the other one was like, he had Easy in a predicament, and so I went over there and I hit him
in a predicament,
and I like helped Easy up, and he like punched me in the face like 3 times. I just looked at him, and I was like, "You really want these fucking problems?" And they left. Like I don't want to fight anybody.
I love how this started. The streets
Fighting's
are Royal Oak.
stupid, man. It's how you die. Like people have guns. And
I
shit
don't
now.
fight.
I don't want to fight anybody.
I'll just like I'm a guy that's just like, dude, I'm not gonna fight.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't want to fight anybody, but I'm not about to let my boy get jumped in the streets. Like,
that's true. I'll just avoid that in any situation.
yeah, I was trying to stop. I was trying to stop Anson from fighting somebody.
That's all.
I turned around, he's fighting 2 kids.
Hanson, he's starting these problems, man.
Yeah.
Jumped in the streets.
I mean, I'm not about to let him get jumped by these two kids.
Pete jumped in the streets of Royal Oak.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like,
the mean streets of Royal Oak.
When I fight, I will like water boy spear someone, like run at you as hard as I could, and I will just put you in like a monkey hole. I promise you, like if I saw one of you guys getting jumped, that is what I would do. I would sprint as fast as I could at the person and Aiden Hutchinson spear them across the street.
Hopefully we see Aiden Hutchinson spear Dak a couple times.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Well, you know what? It's okay. Aiden doesn't have to do anything. You know why? Brucey's in. Tyson Alulu.
Brucey's time to shine.
Alulu, I believe it is.
I'm refreshing for these injuries because I want to see what's going on here.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 6:45.
Yeah, you worried about the Cam Sutton being questionable?
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
I mean, yeah, I'm not happy about it.
Broder said in Allen Park.
You're playing CeeDee Lamb. He's one of the most shifty receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
Extremely fast guy. Very elusive. Like, yeah, I would rather our really
crazy catch
only
radius.
good outside cornerback
Yeah.
be fully healthy. Like, that would be cool.
Yeah.
So, toe injuries, especially with guys that got a back pedal, it's not
tough.
great.
And it just came out of nowhere in the middle of the week.
Yeah,
which
middle
is
of the week.
Very concerning.
Yeah,
it is.
Like that out of nowhere, that kind
I
of
mean,
concerns me.
I would be completely surprised if he doesn't play. I expect him to play. I'm pretty sure they already said he's playing, but
I'm gonna
even with him in, I'm
the injuries.
I'm gonna
still
send it to you. I have the injury report.
Yeah.
Pete, where do you want me to send it?
Send it to my email. Do you have my email?
I don't. It's somewhere in Slack. Can I send it to Spencer Slack?
Yeah, send it to Spencer Slack. That's cool.
Can I say the bets I put in?
Yeah.
I put in some drunk bets yesterday. So.
Oh, those are the best guys.
Yeah.
What'd you cook up?
I think I took the over on Dak pass attempts. It was like 36.5. I put the over on that because they can't run the ball. I took the over on Dak touchdowns. It was 2.5, but I took the over because Tony Pollard has the most red zone usage for a running back in the NFL and the worst touchdown percentage in the red zone,
like converting
by
for
an
a
NFL running back.
Jesus,
he can't score. So if they get in the red zone, they're gonna throw it. Let's see. I got Jahmyr Gibbs over rushing. I've done that the past like 4 weeks. Yeah, Dak over 2.5 touchdowns. Oh, I put Dak anytime touchdown.
On its own?
Plus 420, yeah.
I kind of like that. I'm not gonna. That's kind of sneaky.
I have a parlay of Jameson Williams over, Brandon Cooks over, and Jahmyr Gibbs over. And then a big parlay that I sent.
That Dak one is sneaky too. Plus 440.
Plus 440. They're $10 on it.
If they get it at the one, I mean, Tony sometimes.
He rushes too. Like he's
he'll scramble. Lions struggle. I like it.
Can I throw up the inactives, guys?
Pete, throw it up.
I do have Cowboys too. Just let me know whenever you want that.
All right, here we go. Lions inactives out. Inactive for the game today. Stephen Gilmore, not surprised. Antoine Green, Hendon Hooker, Broderick Martin, Julian Okwara, Levi Onwuzurike, and Brock Wright. That's like not surprising. Any of those guys. So Cam Sutton playing.
Cam's good.
Cam's playing.
He's good to go. Tyron Smith. He is officially active.
He is active.
There you go.
Tyron Smith is active. So that's the big one there.
He's active until Uncle Brucey gets a hold of him.
Yeah, Bruce Irvin being in the game changes things. It does. Tyson Alulu. Hey.
Let's see what Alulu.
Hey.
See what he's made of.
Alulu, whatever he is.
Yeah. Skip to my Lou.
Yeah, skip to my Lou.
I hope he does something out there,
cool
man.
with it.
Hopefully he can provide some interior pass rush. If they don't get to Dak, man, it's going to be a long game for that defense.
Yeah,
this isn't fucking Nick Mullins.
No,
you can't let Dak Prescott's having an MVP caliber season.
Say what you want about him,
especially at home.
Especially
at home, he puts up insane numbers.
I just went through the stats. At home, he has 20 touchdowns, 2 picks. On the road, he has 10 touchdowns, 5 picks.
Yeah.
At home, he's
Jerry's World, man.
It's different.
I remember when they first built that. You remember that?
Yeah, it's got. Doesn't it? Does Jerry's World? It's got like
that big ass screen in the middle.
That's all I remember is when they first built it. They're like, "This is the biggest screen in the world."
Yeah, they're like, punters are gonna hit it. And shit. I think it's happened a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, right away you just have to replay the play.
Yeah,
it's happened a few times.
Jesus, man.
It's insane.
All right. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll get out of here soon. You got our score predictions, read through some of the people's. Jeff Iafrate, Booner, BMG, Spenny joining us for the last part of the show. We had Tom Mazaway calling. Look, we got the Brady Bunch cam. What is this?
Whoa,
yeah, the Brady Bunch cam. You got it.
The Brady Bunch
cam. Oh, yeah,
cam.
Pete.
Come on.
What's up, Mike? How you doing down there?
Pete.
Yeah, Pete. All right. From Pete, like I said, everyone else in the studio, we appreciate you guys. Go Lions.
Go Lions,
We'll have
baby.
a watch party during the game and, of course, a post-game show. Monday, they'll have a pregame show for the Michigan game.
And we do as well today.
And a watch party.
I apologize. I forgot. We do today. Locker app. Make sure you guys download the Locker app.
That was a lot of fun last time.
It was a great time. So if you guys are tuning into the stream, we're going to be doing the same thing for the first half of the game today. We will be sitting here. It'll be me and Spenny, and then I don't know who else will be here.
I'll be here too.
And Pete will be here on your phone. Make sure go download the Locker app. We'll have the scan code on the stream. We'll start about 5-10 minutes early, and you guys will be able to log in. And you're playing for basically a free $500. I think it's like the top 50 or something win, whether it's like $20,
gets a
30.
piece, yeah.
And they split it up.
Easy money.
It is, and all you have to do, it's every single possession. They'll say who in this drive gets the most receiving yards, who gets the most rushing yards, who's going to score on this, and it's basically just a game you go. So shout out to them. We will be doing that in the first half today.
Shout out to Locker.
And it is iOS only.
Well, it is.
So they have not updated. Okay, so it is iOS only. But if you have iOS, tune into the watch party. We're going to be doing that as well and watching the game.
If you don't have iOS, get an iPhone. They're better.
Yeah.
But so what's the like? Come on.
Yeah,
just get an iPhone.
Yeah.
They're so much easier to use. I've had Droids too. Like iPhones are way easier to use. But
It's fair.
And nobody wants a little green text message.
No.
What is the thing? What are we doing Monday?
We're just doing a watch party at 5, and then we're gonna do
pregame show. Pregame show, right?
No pregame show.
Oh, okay. So just watch party.
So no heavyweights?
No heavyweights. It's a watch party at 5, and then after that,
Monday.
No, best ofs, I think.
Yeah. So it's
bet.
Yeah, we're chilling. But there are.
I've been trying to explain what's going on Monday 100 times.
Sorry.
Watch party is at 5, and the Woodward Knights crew is going to do the post game show for the Michigan game for 2 hours.
Oh, that's dope.
So we're doing that. I was trying to get that out, and he just kept going.
But there's no shows.
No, I think we're the only. I think it's just the watch party.
Tuesday we'll be back to recap this game.
I don't think I'm coming to that watch party.
Come on, Michigan. You don't have to. It's Michigan.
Shit about Michigan.
Yeah, that's fair. We've got a little crew. I think it's me, Flannel, and Nick, and maybe Broder for a little bit.
Jerking each other off the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to beat Bama.
All right. Well, you hear it there. We'll see you Tuesday, Monday for all the Michigan content. Of course, Woodward Nights, like you said, post-game show. Until then.
Stream right after this.
Have a great weekend, and you're not going to see me until Tuesday. So, again, have a blessed New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Be safe out there. Get lit, but be careful out there. We'll see you guys. Catch you. Appreciate it. Uber. Read those stats to me, Daddy.
Sports Zone Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.